Alright, so what's good, guys? Welcome back to this channel. We're actually going to be talking about balance price range and inverted fair value gap. So pretty much this is a stay tuned. Alright, so when we talk about fair value gap, this is what it looks like, having that imbalance in price action either in a bearish form or in a bullish form. So some of the things we'll be looking at is what is fair value gap, types of FVG, which include the BC, the CB, the inverted FVG, the RIPA, PDRA, the balance price range, BPR, and we'll also look at how to identify high probability fair value gap. This is very important, so stay tuned. Now when we talk about types of fair value gap. Now, it is very important for us to understand the different type. One of it is BC. Now, this is actually a fair value gap that involves three candle patterns, as you can see right here. We have the buy side imbalance, sell side imbalance, inefficiency. We have the buy side. Now, the buy side was offered, you know, um, but sell side wasn't present, causing inefficiency. So here's one thing you should understand about this particular gap. Very important. Now the gap between the first candle high and third candle low is what we are talking about. The first candle high and the third candle low is the BC. Now that's what we're talking about, the buy side fair value gap. Now you have the sell side fair value gap, which is the CB. It also involve three candle pattern, sell side imbalance buy side inefficiency. So this is probably what it looks like. As you can see, the gap between the first candle low and the third candle high. So it is very important for us to understand that the reversal becomes the case for a bearish order, fair value gap. So that is actually what it means, talking about the BC buy side, and this is actually the sell side, which is the CB, as you can see. Now let's look at the inverted fair value gap. Now the entire idea about inverted fair value gap is when a particular fair value gap is formed and price action tends not to respect that gap, but in cause of not respecting that gap, it produces a another fair value gap that encroaches the previous fair value gap. That in itself becomes an inversion fair value gap. So what that means is that price is going to respect the new order of fair value gap that was created in disrespect to the previous fair value gap. So price is going to respect that particular inverted fair value gap and then push towards the direction of bias. No, so that's actually what it looks like when you use buy side fair value gap and as inverted fair value gap. Price tends to hit towards the premium zone, and that and then it continues towards that axis. If you use sell side, the reverse is also the case. So it is important for us to understand these differences right here. So if a bearish fair value gap is disrespected, it therefore means that the trend will continue higher towards the buy side. But if the buy side fair value gap was disrespected, then it therefore means that price of actions is going to continue towards the bearish bias of that moment. So it is very important. Now let's also talk about what fair value gap is. I've actually explained this initially in the course of this video, involving that imbalance that occurs as a result of price action, or more especially involving three candle patterns, where the first candle and the third candle tends to create that imbalance in of course using the middle candle. So that's what we call fair value gap. So it is a gap that of imbalance caused in the market when one side is more dominant, are we together, than the other. Now when sellers are dominant, bearish fair value gap are created. When sellers are dominant, remember, now when buyers are dominant, a bullish fair value gap is also created, as you can see now. So pretty much it is one of the most useful PDRAs and price for price action. And we also know that price action respects or actually comes back to all of this area to bring about to correct all of those imbalances, liquidity void, inefficiencies, and then tends to push towards that area of bias, and that in itself becomes a very valid point of entry or area of interest you might want to consider in that particular trading experience. So this is pretty much it. Now how to market. Now it is very also important that when you're looking at all of these, um, part of the key point you should know is that more commonly known as double fair value gap, overlap area between two fair value gap. Now this is also an important take home for you. Now when you see in an inversion fair value gap like this, or overlapping two fair value gap like this, you need to pay attention to it, because these are key areas. Definitely price is going to respect this particular area, because we're talking about fair value gap upon fair value gap. Are we together? In the course of price action disrespecting one, it tends to create another one. Don't trivialize that particular region. Pay attention to it, because price definitely will come back there and push towards the area of bias. Are we together? And now we also have a byproduct of an aggressive move down, and then an aggregate and all of that. So this is pretty much what you should look at for. Now let's look at how to identify high probability fair value gap. One is higher time frame fair value gap. So you have to spot this in a higher time frame, and then go to a lower time frame for execution. It must also have um val violated previous fair value gap. Yes, it must have violated previous fair value gap. You have to also pay attention to this. I explained this earlier. Now it must be, you will also look at single test. So what this single test means is that price mustn't have tested that region of fair value gap previously. Yes, so in this case we call it price mustn't have mitigated that area before. Yes, so once price has not mitigated that area, then that fair value becomes, valid for you for your entry. Yes, and all of that. So I believe this is going to be a wrap up here. I believe this video has been educative to you. Do well to hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so you would be notified whenever it is we bring more video your way. I'll see you in the next one.